Greetings, citizens of Chima. This is RusticCastle from the Chima market, and welcome to mock update number 4. So, kicking things straight off then, as you can see, I've just added a bunch more plate to the dark tan area of the mock. So as you can see, here is the before, and then here is the after. Now it looks a lot nicer, I think it looks a lot smoother on the eye, it's less blocky, and overall I think it looks a hell of a lot nicer. So moving straight on then, I started deciding to have a look at another cliff face for my mock. So I did this by effectively just taking a picture and then drawing out what I had in mind. This is sort of the brief sort of idea that I had. It's nothing special, it's just a bunch of scribbles basically, but it's just so I have a basic idea of what I want to do and where I want to take it. So let's take a look and see what parts I've got available. So getting straight on with it then, this is how I always go about doing my mocks. I always just take that picture, do some scribbles, and then I just crack straight on. I find free build the easiest way for me to just get stuff done. So what I'll do is I go over, make this base for the cliff, and then I'll compare it. For this instance, I realized I did the base far too big, so I went back and I changed it to make it a smaller base. But yeah, so I always just make a little base so I know I'm covering the right space or the right area, and I always refer back to that picture to know, because sometimes when I'm building, it's easy to go either overboard or even slightly undercook it. So I always go back and compare to this picture, and looking at it there, it looks pretty perfect. So like I say, I have this base, and then I spend some time building that base up. So here's what eventually it comes into. So I always build this nice foundation, so it's as solid as possible, so that I can start building more stuff on top of it. And for anyone wondering if there's any sort of technique that I use for this rock work, there really isn't any technique at all based into it. It's literally just a case of placing random brick and making it look as natural as I possibly can. But there isn't a technique or anything, I just place, and it's just practice, and it's just how it ends up looking. I do use, of course, snot bricks, so that is technically a technique, I suppose you could say. But yeah, I use snot bricks to place plates or any slopes, really. But that's probably the only thing I do technique-wise. Apart from that, like I say, it is just practice and random placement. So I am just going to leave this like this for now, because the only parts I've really got left are either slopes or plates. So I do need to get another bricklink order in to get the appropriate parts to finish on building that cliff face. So I'll just need to get some more pieces so that I can make it as strong as possible, because if I'm going to have that little archway, that bridge, it needs to make sure that the foundation is strong enough to anchor that bridge. And if you were wondering about the inspiration for this archway, it's just from this part of the landscape in the actual show of Legends of Chima. Obviously mine isn't going to be big enough to fit on that eagle jet, but of course I just sort of want to make it as similar to the Chima landscape as I possibly can, so that's just where I got the idea from. So after I laid the foundation down then, what I did is I just went over at the bottom and just added bits of foliage using the bamboo pieces, the leaf pieces, some fern pieces, and also some like grass stem pieces, just to add that little bit of extra detail. Now I'm not going overboard with this for now, because obviously I still need to texture all of the green plate area, so I want to sort of know how exactly I want to do that before I go overboard with the foliage. But that's where I'm going to leave it for that part of the mock today. So here we've got Bladvik testing out the new part of the mock, trying to reach it so he can lie back and eat his honey, but unfortunately he fell asleep before he could even get there. Another thing I did do was just add a bunch of these vines in this corner, just because I thought it would be nice for them to go hanging down. Just small little details that I like adding to the mock now and then. Okay, so for this next part then, I'm going to need your guys' help. So I want to move on to start to make some trees for my landscape. But the thing is I have no idea what kind of trees I want to make, because there is so many different Lego tree variations out there. And I want to obviously use the ones that match the Chima landscape perfectly. But I'm completely unsure with what I want to do yet. So if you do have any suggestions, please do join the Discord, let me know, or leave in the comments, just so I can get an idea of what sort of trees I can put on this landscape. So that is where I'm going to leave it for today then, guys. So as you can see, here are the before pictures, and then here we've got showing the after. So I think this has been probably the best update in terms of landscape progress so far. So I'd like to thank you guys very much for watching this video. Like I say, please do leave suggestions for trees and any suggestions you want in the comments, or if you join the Discord, please let me know, and then I will try and implement that into the landscape. I would like to thank you guys very much for watching this video. Please do not forget to leave a like, subscribe, and I'm going to go on Bricklink. Stay legendary.